Welcome, sister. I see you have been enlightened. Are you searching for something? Do you seek the truth? Well, you have come to the right place, sister. We've got more truth here than we can handle. Yeah. Disease. Sister, you've got to open your mind. One man's disease is another man's sanctity. Here among the Brotherhood of the Ninth Circle, we have shared these earthly labels. Come, partake of our divine communion. They call me Bishop Vic, Shepherd of the Damned, your midnight guide through our last days here on Earth. Do you feel it, sister? The curtain being drawn back at last, drawn back by my hand, by the Brotherhood of the Ninth Circle. Gehenna, Judgment Day, the apocalypse. Oh, again, sister, you are too indoctrinated into the antiquated beliefs of this material world. There is no rhyme or reason, no all-powerful and terrible gods who watch over their children. You talk of disease. What about the disease that you and I both carry? Our flesh remade into nothing more than an abomination, feeding on our brothers and sisters like so many cattle. What god watched over me when that demon tore into my neck and made me into this monster you see before you? No, sister. There is no god who would tolerate such a thing. And so I have become God. And the diseases I carry to the masses will bring about an end of my own making, until we have all journeyed below into the Ninth Circle. The time for words has come and gone, my sister. You and I will take those last steps together and see what truth lies behind the curtain. Let the night fall forever on this cursed earth, and let the fruits of my labor bring a long and bloody harvest.
Ugh, Cammy. We told him to burn the blood and go to the hospital. Said he thought he'd get over it. Men are stubborn that way. Just proves the plague bearer's gotta be found. Got it. Keep it up. Hey, I heard that. Ugh, Cammy. You killed all of them? You. So I guess you want me to thank you or something? Damn it. Thanks, okay? We're cool for now, but just don't go bragging to everybody about it. Righteous. You know, you just may have an anarch soul. I'll let you chew on that, Cammy. Some of the boys might have overheard our conversation and gotten the impression I've gone soft. Somebody in this joint's gotta lack the restraint to keep their mouths shut. I don't know. You seem pretty tight with Nancy Pants up there. Say, you really want to help us out? Stay close to LaCroix. Smooch his ass, play ball. Keep an eye on him for us. You hear anything spicy, you come talk to me. Don't advertise. For all anyone in that tower will know, you're still a worthless, bootlicking Cammy Dooboy. Fuck that shit. I don't need another jeans commercial dicking around here with the rest of the pack. You got the in. Hell, you can get close enough to tell what kind of fruity hair conditioner LaCroix's using. That's where we need you, if you're really committed. Cool. With someone on the inside, we should be able to eject his candy ass a whole lot sooner. Keep us conscious, Cammy. Goddamn Cammy. You guys
sorry, newbie, but I got the whole city shouting in my ear. We'll have to rant some more.
What's up?
Hello, neonate. How can I be of assistance? Of course. You have? Impressive, young one. What exactly was the source of the epidemic? Tell me of this so-called bishop. I see. That end may very well be upon us. But to business. I have a debt to pay you for your services. If you so desire, I can give to you a unique talisman that might be of use in the future. If that does not interest you, I can compensate you with hard currency. You decide. A wise decision, neonate. True power lies not in wealth, but in the things it affords you. I hope this object serves you well.
Did you see it? He done tore him up, right in two, ripped him apart like a rag doll. These two guys, the dead guy and the other, they showed up. I've been living here, so I hid. I thought maybe they was owners or cops come to clean the place out. They was waiting on someone. They're going to do some kind of job, they were saying. But the person they was meeting, well, he was late. So the one guy leaves to find the phone and call him, and the dead guy stayed. Oh, that's when the killer, that's when he showed up. The dead feller called him Muddy. One second he wasn't there, and then he was. Like out of the shadows he come up. Scared the shit out of the dead guy. I'd like to scream, but I couldn't breathe. Oh, that killer, he grew these claws. I swear it, I saw it. And the dead guy went white like he seen the devil, and then the killer grabbed him round the neck and lifted him up and started cursing at the guy. Oh, I couldn't hear too good. Something about revenge for what he did or what they did. The killer made sure that that guy knew who he was and then ripped him open. Just tore him apart. He did it real slow and made the guy scream. Okay, I will. I don't want to never think about that again.
Where to?
It's a mesmerizing liquid, isn't it? The color, the bouquet, the form. When I was a kid, I used to wait for the snap of the rat trap. It would trickle out of the animal's face and ooze just far enough to coagulate around the cheese. A poetic death. It's a mesmerizing liquid.
gonna cram them old head.
Need a ride?
He's expecting you. Go on up.
Give the Anarch community my regards. Their zeal is admirable, but their ideas impractical for a society that must maintain secrecy and organization to stem its own genocide from coming about. I don't suppose they told you this is the only so-called free state that hasn't folded? No? Imagine that. Now that that's out of the way, I trust you're prepared to leave for the Dane. I suppose I can spare a few seconds. Yes, it's common knowledge. I was born in Calais, France, over 200 years ago. When I graduated from the Royal Military Academy, I joined Napoleon's army. It was shortly after Waterloo, when I was embraced by a Belgian noble. From that time onward, I counted some of the greatest kindred in Europe as my mentors, and worked towards establishing a Camarilla presence in new territories. In 1930, I came to the Americas and staked power in New York. Soon after, I headed west to claim domain. Which is... In this age of information, videotape, and weapons of mass destruction, the Camarilla is more necessary than it has ever been. The alternative to thorough secrecy these days is extinction. As long as we exist, so shall kindred society. Yes, you've met Beckett. Yes, he did pay me the courtesy of announcing his presence in my city. He's lionized in kindred society, by most. Beckett's the definition of renowned scholar, but he's also a lone wolf, and owes allegiance only to his intellectual pursuits. Yes. Jack. The man is a scourge, the physical manifestation of chaos. Whenever he makes an appearance in one city, it is only a matter of time before a calamity is attributed to his latest lark. Yes, he's my sheriff. When there is a problem that words are wasted on, I send him. The less one sees of him, the better. Which is... Every night you wake up, be thankful you were not sired by one of their kind, or you would have woken under the ground, forced to claw your way up from the dirt into a brief, bloody, violent existence. Savages, bloodthirsty, irresponsible heathens. Which is... All I know about the Ankaran sarcophagus is what I've heard on the news. It was found during an archaeological excavation in Turkey, and it appears ancient. There could be nothing but dust inside. However, that does not discount the possibility of it containing some kindred artifact, or even a mummy. All of these evidence of the supernatural, and therefore potentially damaging to us. As for it containing an ancient kindred, The Camarilla does not put stock in the actuality of antediluvians. They're myths. Don't let anyone tell you differently. Good. I'm counting on an encore exposition of the talent you showed earlier. Go. And remember, under no circumstances are you to open the Ankaran sarcophagus. We'll talk later. Good. There's a boat waiting for you on the beach in Santa Monica.
Hop in.
Hey, what can I say? You preserved my ass. I truly appreciate you not saying anything, and I want you to know I take care of those who do me favors. So from now on, you need equipment, info, you come see me at my apartment. Don't hesitate. I just wanted to make sure you knew my appreciation. And like I said before, someone needs something, I can get it. This boat, for example. Anything I can do for you tonight? Concerning? Specifically? Not easy, even in this country. Military-grade sniper rifle with 50 caliber ammo can take a man apart at quite a distance. Makes the Secret Service nervous. I can, however, get my hands on a SWAT rifle. Give me some time. Specifically? What you want is a Spaz 15. I got a connection for those, but I haven't seen him in a while. Think he's in Mexico. As soon as he gets back, I'll have a few of them. Putting together a Dragon's Breath, too. Sort of. Spits WP rounds. Few nights' work. Specifically? Oh, yeah, I get a lot of requests for those. I blame the movies. Everybody thinks they're a riot till they set their friends on fire. They're not very easy to get hold of. I got a Vegas connection for those. Last time I was out there, I had to shoot my way to the state line. Specifically? Only a lunatic would want that kind of ordinance. That's why they got him in Washington. Concerning? Specifically? Santa Monica's quiet, mostly. That is till you came to town. Not a lot of operators or police here, which is why I like it. Not a beach person personally, but there are some beautiful sunsets. I guess you wouldn't be interested in that, though, would you? Concerning? Specifically? Downtown's a mess, always has been. I get called down there sometimes. Nines' people, LaCroix's people, a lot of tension in the air. A lot of drugs and a lot of crime. Sometimes I offload extra inventory, but I avoid downtown when I can. Concerning? Who exactly? What's to tell? I can get anything anyone wants at any time. I'd say it's my calling. Till the Astrolite. Wasn't anything I couldn't handle. Well, back east some shit went down. Big Apple can't go back. I hate LA, but what are you gonna do? Who exactly? Only seen him a few times. Way I understand it, the guy's untouchable. And I've never seen him without his muscle, that sheriff. Just so you understand, my loyalties are all but written in blood. So my opinion of the guy is moot. Concerning? Who exactly? Your typical bloodthirsty movie villain variety vampire. A few years back, I was on bodyguard duty for one of the old boys. Me, a couple of ghouls, and some young vampire types like you. The Sabbat hit us. Tried to pull a dine and dash. Just 2 of us walked away, and 1 was the elder.
Yo, Pally, over here.
Ah, for Christ's sakes. Tell Jacobson if he plans on making editor-in-chief, he's got to start working with me. I can't keep getting him these scoops if he's going to send high school journalists who don't know enough to wear something that would blend in. Jeez, what kind of wood stain? Don't think to at least show dressed up like an investigator, a Coast Guard guy, something. Didn't you ever see Fletch? What, are they just handing out those diplomas nowadays? Take it easy, Lois Lane. This is still a badge you're talking to. All right, look. I got you a copy of the initial report, and I can get you into the cabin, but you gotta make yourself real scarce after that. Anybody catches you, I don't know you. And no goddamn flash photography, brainchild. Hold up a sec. Hines to Marsh. Hines to Marsh. Marsh, they need you up in the bridge. Over. There. The security room will be clear. Head down the stairs behind you and stay low. When you get down there, wait for me to call off the guy guarding gangway A. As soon as he leaves, get your ass moving and don't let him see you. I'll give you a couple of minutes, but don't dilly-dally. In and out, okay? Don't forget to stay out of sight. If anyone sees you, you're on your own. Take the stairs up to the security room. There'll be a computer in there. The password is Lighthouse. Lighthouse. All one word. You getting all this? Now get a move on. And don't forget to tell Jacobson I get double my usual fee for this one. Hines to Jacobson, Anderson. Hines to Anderson. Come in, Anderson. Come check this out. I just saw a baleen whale. Yeah?
Going somewhere?
Hey! I know this might seem creepy and all, but please don't blow me off, okay? Someone told me I could find you here. I mean, I've been looking all over for you since that night. Because I just wanted to... I'm in your debt. I want to help you. I owe you my life, and I feel like I need to repay you. I almost forgot. I'm Heather. Heather Poe. I'm not weirding you out or anything, am I? Wait! Here, I got you this. I thought you might be able to use it. I can be useful to you. I'd do anything, just tell me you'll let me help you. Let me stay with you. Make me feel this way. You don't mean that. I know you need me. Just let me stay near you for a little while. And if you still don't want me around, if you tell me to go, I'll go. I promise.
Oh, go on up. Yeah, you go right on up and see Mr. LaCroix.
I've said all I need to for now. One of my people was monitoring the police radio. Very sloppy. I stated explicitly that you are not to kill any police officers. Their deaths attract attention, and we have to generate spin to attach the blame to natural causes. I'm losing my patience. What did you see on the ship? And the Ankaran sarcophagus? What did you see? Opened? Let's not jump to conclusions. Give me the manifest in your notes. I'll sort this mess later. You might have noticed when you came in the parade of malingering mollycoddles filing out. Those were the Primogen, this city's clan elders, a worrisome bunch devoted first and foremost to the security of their own skin, which is why they were here. It seems Alistair Grout, the Malkavian Primogen, has either forgotten how to answer his phone, or is missing. Each minor problem like a grain of sand. Each night I inherit the desert. The Sabbat's appearance has put the Primogen on edge. Grout's mansion is in the Hollywood Hills. I need you to pry Grout out of whatever crack he's crawled into, and have him contact us. Each minor problem like a grain of sand. Each night I inherit the desert. It's the seemingly insignificant, time-consuming trivialities that plague my night. Which is why, when I assign you a simple task, I only want to hear unbridled vehemence on your part. Understood? My thanks. And that goes a long way in this city. I'm assigning you something that can't be screwed up. Charitably. This is your chance to gain a small but significant amount of my good graces back. I strongly urge you to accept. Go see Grout. Yes, about Grout. As I said, Grout is the Malkavian Primogen. His behavior and home are eccentric, to say the least. He's developed a paranoid bent lately, so you may have to check under every bed in the place for him. I suppose I can spare a few seconds. Yes. They are the representatives of their clans, though more often than not they represent their own best interests. They stay close to power, but are too fearful of the consequences to wield it. Nonetheless, I seek their counsel on occasion. Which is... The Primogen hate to be kept waiting, and they let me know that frequently. I suppose I can spare a few seconds. Which is... When we hear from Grout, you may come back. Until then.
Yeah, you go right on up and see Mr. LaCroix.
Whatever.
Just back off.
Buy a watch.
To these events, though they have not ruled out the possibility. Stay tuned to Channel 3 for further updates. The Southland Slashers at the end sometime in downtown Los Angeles. The body of Sean Milton, a former convict that was recently released for good behavior, was found similarly to the other victims of the serial killer. Police believe there may be a connection between Milton's prison past and the slasher. We'll have a full report on this story later tonight. A massive gelatinous creature that washed up on the beaches of Providence, Rhode Island, has scientists scratching their heads. Found by a jogger early on Tuesday morning who says he smelled it a mile away, the mystery creature is thought to be a giant octopus.
Though marine biologists commented that they have never seen anything like it in the cephalopod family before. They speculate that it could be from a yet undiscovered family of sea creatures.
A tourist bus destined for the ancient city of Angkor Wat that failed to return Wednesday night was found this morning, though without any trace of its operator. Cambodian officials have dispatched several military units into the area to search through the surrounding jungle, amidst concern that it is related to one of a number of Southeastern Asian terrorist organizations based in the region. Police are now confirming that they suspect foul play in the disappearance of the Elizabeth Dane's crew. There is evidence that suggests the crew or several members of the crew were slain, though no names are being released at the moment. One piece in the Elizabeth Dane's cargo was revealed as the Angkoran sarcophagus. Discovered at a dig in Turkey, the sarcophagus was on its way to the Los Angeles Museum for a detailed analysis and exhibition. Authorities are expected to release the sarcophagus to the museum in the next few days. Several dead at a beach house in Santa Monica tonight. Police suspect the slayings were carried out during a drug deal gone bad. Residents of this quiet community were shocked by the killings, though neighbors suspected the men in the house to be involved in drug distribution and had seen many strange people going inside at all hours of the night. A security guard is dead tonight after an intruder forced their way into Santa Monica's Gallery Noir.
Get out of my way.
There you are. Finished yet?
What? Yeah, I can't hear you! Let's talk in my office!
Boris? That Boris's blood? Guess we're partners then. If you only knew what I had to do over the years to keep this place open. Tell you what, partner. Come in every few days and I'll give you your cut. Here's tonight's. I've got some money to make us. I'll hold your share of the profits. Don't forget to drop by and scoop them up once in a while, Really, I'd love to hear them, but I've got to go find a new DJ. Our old one's still spinning that Pixie Wave-matic 80s Redux electronica. It's so last Friday. Heaps of thanks again.
Hey, Papi, you need a date?
Where to? Need a ride?
You! What are you doing here? No? You should get out of here. This place is bad news. Pardon me.
It is quite peculiar, the happenings I've been made to witness for my supernatural longevity. I am thinking of one unfortunate phenomenon in particular, of unique interest to my station, both as a professional and as a sufferer of this vampiric condition. It seems the stream of time has begun to erode the moorings of my chosen course of study, for the methodologies that gave birth to psychology are slowly disappearing. I find myself in an era that overlooks the physical component of psychological pathology time and again in favor of the sophistic practices of Freud. Phrenology, dactopintilism, and the rest of the old guard has fallen by the wayside, its champions all silenced in death, with my unique exception. Would that I could make my voice heard again, although it may be suspicious should I return to popular medical discourse 50 years after my apparent death. No, better that I continue my studies into the psychoses in secret. One day, may I hold up my own cure as validation of the methods. I am confident no cure for my condition, or that of my beloved wife, lies within our figurative minds, waiting to be unlocked by the correct combination of memories recovered from our childhoods. And I'm most certain it has nothing to do with the relationship between myself, my parents, and my genitals. Sorry, Sigmund, but I choose to stay my course. In time, too, may your star fade and disappear. Another unfortunate casualty to tide of time, insane asylums. I lament their loss not only as brokerage houses for the breadth and depth of human psychoses, but also I shall mourn the disappearance of that peculiar environment present only in an insane asylum. That palpable atmosphere of bliss brains and churning bowels, the odoriferous melange of freely flowing bodily humors, that gently rolling cacophony of distant sobs and screams, the muttered cursing at perceived enemies, and the blissful gurgling of the lobotomized, like a newborn babe discovering the sky. I shall still find test subjects as surely as I find bloody sustenance in the night, but this climate, I fear, may never be replicated. Often I reflect with great regret on the missed opportunity that was my infector. Had I been conscious after the attack, I could have stopped the orderlies from locking her in the roaming pen. What I would give for just one interview, a few simple questions of the plague-ridden woman who met her end that dawn. Of course, there is no guarantee she would have been any more helpful than my current crop of test subjects, mewling wretches. Few could be called enthusiastic. Given the nature of the tests, I cannot expect the same fervor from all, but a modicum of cooperation would be appreciated. Animals. The one called John went so far as to gnaw off his arm and escape into the floorboards like some feral rodent. I still hear him scurrying about at night. He must be making an atrocious mess in there. My studies proceed at a languid pace. I'm mired in a foul ennui as my wife's illness advances. My subjects grow restless without proper supervision, but I cannot pull myself back from this black depression. How many nights I've wasted now, gazing from the tower walk, pondering the frailty of existence. After decades of solitary study into this affliction, I have learned that it is by no means mine alone. Indeed, the city is home to an entire society of similarly afflicted individuals with whom I've only recently made contact. They are an understandably standoffish sort, by and large, but I have been able to confirm with them that the condition is indeed vampirism, which apparently comes in a multitude of strains, each with a spectacular set of symptoms such as invisibility and even a sort of lycanthropy. Through numerous official interactions with the governing body of this secret society, I have concluded that their fundamental understanding of the vampiric condition is woefully lacking and mired in suspicion and pseudo-religious dogma that would make a Turk balk for its strictures. Indeed, they seemed impressed with my studies and the eloquence with which I was able to present them. Apparently, the typical sufferer of my particular strain of vampirism is far from the vanguard of the King's English. So impressed were they that they even offered me an office in their government, a rather high office by the sound of things. I believe I shall accept. If nothing else, it should provide a lofty vantage point from which to observe the breadth and epidemiology of the affliction so that I may move more expeditiously toward a cure. I have accepted the role of Primogen for Clan Malkavian, the dreadfully winsome label applied to the particular strain of vampirism I suffer, so named for some supposed vampire father figure of old. More poppycock grown from a backward culture that seems interminably drawn to children's tales and the fiction of Victorian romance when it should concern itself with the science behind their suffering. No matter. For I have taken this office for no greater reason than to advance my research. I must make mention, however, that even among my would-be peers in this governing body of vampires, the level of paranoia and superstition is frightening. Their intelligence is not the question, no, indeed. As they courted me for this appointment, I had to suspect that their overtures were hand-tailored to what must be my obvious infatuation with reason, for the devil would do well to have such honey-tongued tempters. Even so, I could not help but notice the dressing of language these vampire leaders chose for their siren song. Whether it is born of habit, from addressing their unwashed, ill-educated subjects, or from their own deep-seated beliefs, their linguistic flourishes belie a faith in superstition over the providence of empirical reason that must be an all-pervasive theme in this society of darkest night. Damn it all, now I'm doing it too. As I expand my dealings with the vampire government, I have encountered a disturbing new symptom of this affliction. Frequently, in conversation, I will hear voices emanating from other vampires, voices that are not their own, but which seem to have insight into their lives beyond what I could gather from simple conversation. These voices seem to echo from deep within my fellow vampires, and I cannot be certain if this symptom belongs to my strain of the illness or theirs, for the voices are various and inconsistent. I dare not mention this symptom to my vampiric peers, for they have proven themselves true predators to whom I should be loath to reveal any sign of weakness. Indeed, these voices have counseled me, confessing their presence, and until I can confirm their source, I will listen. The information of the voices have given me ranges from curious to frightening. The latter case is especially true of one powerful vampire whose name I shall not commit to recording in the interests of self-preservation.
Stop doing that. Mother shan't be too pleased. Not too pleased.
I am no longer safe. I know it. The voices have proven themselves authentic, and I have withdrawn from the Vampire Society entirely. My absence will no doubt draw attention, but I could no longer hold my fragile composure around the ravenous eyes of my vampire peers, especially not around him. The voices compelled me to make what I fear is a Faustian bargain, but I had to, for their demands are constant and merciless. I have secluded myself within the mansion. I know he will strike out at me. He will go to any length to achieve his ambitions, and he knows it, I know. I have taken precautions to protect my beloved wife. Her cure will have to wait until our immediate safety is guaranteed. The mansion was constructed with security in mind, but at that time I was not privy to the full range of vampire capabilities. The voices echo in the twisted corridors of my psyche, dark whisperings of a macabre and formless menace, the approach of which portends an end to all of this. The voices have increased in frequency and direction of late. They have begun to stay with me long after conversation has ceased and are serving as quite a distraction. I fear others are beginning to notice my preoccupation at the vampire gatherings. I am thinking again of the particular vampire of whom I spoke previously, who I dare not name for my growing fear. If the voices are to be believed, then my caution is warranted, for they speak of his blackest crimes, both past and future. More than once, I have seen the suspicion in his eyes and heard the distrust in his voice when speaking with me. The fear must register on my face, as it is all I can do in these moments to keep from crying out in chorus with the voices.
Count is dead? Pity it could not be by my hand. No matter. Soon your self-made kings and false prophets and all who bear the mark of the beast will be washed from the earth for the coming of the Lord. As you burn, tell them it was Grünfeld Bach who sent your damned soul to that lake of fire. All agents of Satan shall return to whence they came. Let this righteous display serve as a promise to all who serve the Archfiend Lacroix. I'm coming for you, Lacroix. By the power of the Lord, I will cleanse your black soul.
Go on up. Yeah, you go right on up and see Mr. LaCroix.
The Primogens still haven't been contacted by Grout. I thought I made it clear that you were not supposed to come back until we had heard from him. Grout's dead. What? Bach! Every time I think he's lost the scent. So, Bach killed Grout to draw me out. Bach is a hunter. They stalk and kill our kind to appease their god. But like many mortals, their so-called faith is nothing but a conduit through which they quench their killing urge. Who else would have killed Grout? Let you finish. With whom do you presume you're speaking? Look at me. Are you sure it was Nines Rodriguez? Because if it was, the consequences... Do you know where this might lead? Do you really have any idea? It means, under most circumstances, I would call a blood hunt on the murderer immediately. However, the anarchs of this city may interpret such an action to be a declaration of war. I do not want a war with them. This decision will take some time. I need to confer with the Primogen on this. In the meantime, I've come to a decision on the Ankaran sarcophagus, and I believe that for the safety of the inhabitants of this city, we need to place the sarcophagus under Camarilla protection until its contents can be confirmed. You don't like me. I can be a bit harsh at times, but you must remember, the responsibility of this city's kindred rests on my shoulders. So naturally, I cannot always be a patient man. But you have been of service, and it is appreciated. This also is very important, so I need to call upon your skill once more. The Ankaran sarcophagus was quietly delivered to the Museum of Natural History a few hours ago. I would like you to bring it back here for safekeeping. Let me finish. The manifest from the Dane shows there was a small box from the same dig on board, but it was listed as missing. Keep an eye open for it. It may have been overlooked. It's crucial we get the sarcophagus in our possession within the next few hours. Here, I'm feeling charitable. I have methodically calculated a solution to each dilemma thrust upon our community, and I don't have the time to paint your tiny mind its place in the big picture for each and every instance. So either serve your function, or get out of my sight. Show him out.
Yeah, you go right on up and see Mr. LaCroix.
Listen, kid, you did what you had to do. Just a messenger, right? It's a ruse by LaCroix so you can call a blood hunt on Nines. Standard smear job, textbook candy bullshit. You're just eager to please, ain't you? I could give a goddamn kid, but I'm sure the boys here would appreciate it if you kept the business as usual. You hear me? Sorry, kid, no time to talk now.
You measly fuck, you got a lot of nerve showing up here, Lick. You think of Nige said he killed a goddamn premature. I'm willing to believe you are a patsy in all this, but I'll be watching you. Don't expect to see him until this bullshit is resolved.
Heard anything?
The crab nibble this and crab nibble that.
Hop in.
Going somewhere?
Yeah, you go right on up and see Mr. LaCroix.
Where to?
I'll watch.
This rain is the pungent sewage of hell, seeping into the cracks of future.
What do you need? Like what? Sure.
Hurry on your way to the apocalypse! Always room for heathens in the cold and oily pits of the damned! I have seen the squirming
No.
Did you miss me? Judging by the way the board set up, I'd say you couldn't live without me. You make me feel so desirable, LA. So many callers, so little time. If you don't get through to me tonight, don't let it break your heart. I'm here each and every AM. So keep dialing those magic numbers and just maybe you'll be as lucky as this caller. What's your name, Night Owl?
Hello, Deb. This is Greg.
Hello, Greg. Up late, aren't we?
Finally, you're back. I thought maybe something happened to you. I shouldn't even think such a thing. I mean, If you disappeared, how could I go on? But you're here now. I'm so glad when you're near me.
As pretty as your voice, then you're the prettiest woman in the city.
Aren't you the gentleman?
Imagine you alone,
Blood?
Deb.
What do you mean?
All by myself, and it does get lonely.
I didn't mean anything by it. Please, give me your blood.
Like your hair straddling my...
No! I need it. I need you. Please, give it to me. I'd do anything for you. Anything. Just don't leave me.
Yes, I think that's implied by the title of the show.
This feeling. It's
I haven't felt that way.
It's love. Oh, all I can feel is love for you. I almost forgot. I got a college loan check today. Here, I want you to take some of the money.
I bet you say that to all the girls.
There is a red star in the night sky.
I'm sorry. I'll try harder next time. Okay.
Okay, well, good luck in the next election, Senator. Apologies to all you night owls out there, but this girl's got something she's got to take care of for the next few minutes. Here's a little music to keep you
plane, though no names are being released at the moment. One piece in the Elizabeth Dane's cargo was revealed as the Ankaran sarcophagus. Discovered at a dig in Turkey, the sarcophagus was on its way to the Los Angeles Museum of Natural History for a detailed analysis and exhibition. Authorities are expected to release the sarcophagus to the museum in the next few days. A massive gelatinous creature that washed up on the beaches of Providence, Rhode Island, has scientists scratching their heads. Found by a jogger early on Tuesday morning who says he smelled it a mile away, the mystery creature is thought to be some form of giant octopus, though marine biologists that have examined the monster have commented that they have never seen anything like it in the cephalopod family before. They speculate that it could be from a yet undiscovered family of sea creatures. A tourist bus destined for the ancient city of Angkor Wat that failed to return Wednesday night was found this morning, though without any trace of its operator or passengers. Cambodian officials have dispatched several military units into the area to search through the surrounding jungle, amidst concerns that it is related to one of a number of Southeastern Asian terrorist organizations based in the region. 3 American citizens are among the missing. The Southland slasher struck again, this time in downtown Los Angeles.
Anything for you.
Need a ride?
Sorry, I'm afraid I can't help.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you go right on up and see Mr. LaCroix.
Those who scorn me are not often given a second chance to return to my favor. Make your case quickly. Your youth and ignorance are hardly an excuse for your impudence. But I still have use of you. See that it never happens again. The only use for 2 olive branches is kindling. Here are the keys to the front door of the museum. The sarcophagus should be in an examination room of some sort. There's a small security staff on site, but I don't want a massacre. Mortals are just as easy to deceive as they are to kill. 1 or 2, but that's all. My history with that family dates back to Bach's grandfather, who pursued me into Africa, where I killed him. Bach's father tracked me to London to meet his death. And now Bach and the Society of Leopold have followed me across America. They never learn. Witch hunters, an anachronistic holdover from the Middle Ages. They are inquisitors whose fanaticism has convinced them that their triumph over the supernatural will save mankind and secure them a cushy spot in heaven. A blood hunt is a death sentence. When one commits a high crime against our society, a blood hunt may be called. It is then the responsibility of the city's kindred to bring the offender final death. There is a degree of immediacy attached to this task. Work fast. And, as on the Dane, you are not to open the Ankaran sarcophagus for any reason. Excuse me. The car is waiting. There is a degree of immediacy.
Yeah, you go right on up and see Mr. LaCroix.
Hop in.